Hey everybody, this is AJYT Abbott, and welcome to another movie review. This is going to be my review for Rambo Last Blood. This movie, there's a lot to talk about, so it's going to be a little bit more of a longer review than some of the other ones I've been putting out lately. So if you have not seen Rambo Last Blood, this review will contain spoilers. You have been warned. Doing things a little bit differently with this review. Alright, the good. Extremely violent. Oh my gosh. This movie has the gore. Not really like there's no intestines and everything, but I mean, we're getting right to the end, right out of the gate. Rambo rips out a dude's heart. Yes, he rips out a dude's heart. He throws pitchforks into people and then just blows their head away with a double-barrel shotgun, which is just brutal. Oh my gosh, dude, that scene was it was something else. It was something else. But there is some very emotional parts of this movie, of course. A shock that I really didn't see coming. I did not think it would happen. Basically the whole movie is Rambo. At least majority of the movie is Rambo, has to get his, pretty much daughter figure, back from these Mexican cartel guys, and, you know, they drug girls, and then they sell them. So Rambo gets the girl back, but on the way back home, she dies, which really shocked me. I did not see that coming, and it's a heartbreak for him, and that's what sends him on his rampage. And another thing I want to talk about is John Rambo. The character in this movie was handled extremely well. You know, his pain and his loss from all these movies, in the past, where he's lost all these people, his friends, you know, people that he looked up to, people that, you know, admired him and respected him and that were his friend. You know, they're all gone, and he's just really left with nothing but himself. And these two people that he cares about, you know, one leaves and one dies. And it's just really upsetting for him. So then the drug cartel, or I'm sorry, well, it's pretty much a drug cartel, I guess. Just the cartel guys come, and he has to fight them. And the last, 30 minutes of this movie, or 20, is worth the price of admission alone, guys. I will admit, the first hour, there isn't too much action, but it keeps just building and intensifying. There is some action, but it's not, it's like a very light action, and it just builds. Like the next action scene, it'll be a little bit more brutal. The next one, it'll get more brutal, and then we're finally at the final act, where it is just all out gore and just brutal stuff, guys. And the cartel guys, you really hate them in this movie. They make sure that they, you know, are represented as these horrible people that just don't care what they're doing. They don't have any respect for anybody. They don't care what they're doing to these girls or, you know, Rambo's daughter figure. And they're not afraid to kill Rambo. They beat him up, you know. They beat him up pretty bad. And, you know, he's in this house for 4 days with this woman that rescued him, and helps him. And just all of that just for him to, you know, lose his daughter. And you get pissed off at the cartel guys because you see them abusing these girls and doing stuff to these girls, and they don't care about it, right? So then when Rambo finally just goes all in and shooting arrows into them, hitting them with pitchforks, just throwing knives into them, exploding them, setting them on fire, you know, just pretty much just throwing an R-rated Home Alone bash in in his tunnels. He just sets up a whole bunch of Home Alone type traps and just Man, he just lays into him, guys. Um, it's very well paced. You know, we go from, the cartel guys being absolutely despicable to, Rambo trying to stop what they're doing. I mean, you really are rooting for him. Not that you wouldn't root for him, but I'm just saying, anybody that didn't like John Rambo as a character in the last couple movies, you will like him in this. It's hard not to like Sylvester Stallone character. He just plays awesome roles. The conclusion was fantastic. So Rambo kills the main cartel leader, rips his heart out, and then he's bleeding, but I'm pretty sure he makes it. They don't really clear that up whether or not he gets to a hospital or anything. It's just he sits down on his porch and he's bleeding. He's holding his wound though, so hopefully he just sat there for a minute and then just gets patched up. And he makes this whole speech about how wars have always been his life, and family is important to him. And it's a very powerful moment for John Rambo as a character. So that's what really made me like the film, and it's one of my favorite of the year. On to the bad. The only complaint that comes to mind is this movie doesn't exactly fit in with the other Rambo films. With the first one being this guy getting back from being, pretty traumatized from the Vietnam War. And then the next couple movies are like war movies. And then, of course, we had the one from 2009 where, he's back into his roots, back into the fight. And, he's in this sort of big government affair, big world affair. In this one, he's just out for revenge. Which isn't a bad thing. I did like it, and, Sylvester Stallone has been trying to do that type of story in these movies for years now. But, if it's a Rambo movie, you kind of want it to fit into the mold of the Rambo movies. It did kind of go along with some of the tropes in the other movies, like, gets close to someone, they die, and then he has to get revenge on the person that killed them. That happens in this movie, of course, with his daughter figure. She dies, and then he gets revenge. That happened in, all the other Rambo movies. But I don't know. This one just felt, it's not out of place, but it just seems like it's just your action movie. I wouldn't see it as a war movie. It's not a war movie. It's more of a drama, thriller, action. But the final grade for Rambo Last Blood is a 10 out of 10. We are no longer doing that stupid A, just like the grading system for that. We are doing 10 out of 10. So, yeah, out of a 10 scale. We are doing that because the grading was starting to annoy me. So, yeah, Rambo Last Blood, y'all. It was a fantastic film. It handled its characters well. It handled its emotion well. It handled its action well. It handled the kills well. You guys need to go see this film. It just break boundaries, and it took risks, of course, because it doesn't fit in with the other Rambo movies. And I did like that it took risks, even though it is a Rambo movie, so you want it to blend in a little bit. That was like even just a minor nitpick, I love this movie, man. It was worth the wait, and I love these sort of reboots, not reboots, but return or throwback action movies. Of course, we've got it with Rambo this year. We're getting it with Terminator. Last year we got it with, of course, The Predator and some other ones. I can't think of it right now. But we've just gotten some great throwback action movies where we take this film from a while ago that we really, really love, and we just make a return to it. And it was just great revisiting this franchise again, and revisiting the character of John Rambo. And he's just such a compelling character. And I'm going to be doing a ranking video ranking the Rambo films from worst to best, in my opinion. So that was my review of Rambo Last Blood. Death came. He said death was coming, and it came for those cartel guys. So go see it in theaters. I highly request it. Thank you all very much for watching. Goodbye.